Hi, welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles, and again, I'm with Jim Hughes.
I'm with you, and it's great. It's Oxford News This Week, and yes, it has been warm, and that's why I'm wearing a t-shirt, okay? Hey, this edition of Oxford News This Week, the Village of Oxford finally okays a first reading. The village raises its millages, and CJ Carnacchio, he does it again.
All that and more, the Oxford News begins right now. After 2 years of deliberations and in spite of the majority audience opinion, the Oxford Village Council reaches a decision to approve the first reading of its adult use recreational marijuana ordinance. It was a narrow 3-2 vote, but the ordinance will allow regulated recreational marijuana micro businesses in the industrial zoning district. The vote followed an hour-long public hearing in which the majority of residents, including the chief of police, opposed the ordinance. However, council member Allison Kemp said between the multiple community meetings, conversations with attorneys, and emails which have influenced consideration to security, lighting, odor, and child safety. In terms of child safety, Kemp calls it the parent's responsibility. Village resident Kelsey Cook, also president, agrees with residents opposed to the businesses coming into the village and stated that she was not opposed to adult use of marijuana, but stated she hears the opposition and said she would not have moved to Oxford if it was known for being a marijuana business town. Councilwoman Ross quoted national statistics identifying increased tax base, increased revenue and job possibilities if you can find employees. The second reading should be June 8th. However, Council extended its state of emergency declaration by 1 month, which will require a virtual meeting for the second reading. Jim?
It looks like Oxford Village residents will be paying higher taxes beginning in July 2021. In a 3-2 vote, the council opted to raise the village millage from 10.62 to 11.2, which equals to a half a mil revenue per year. The increase was recommended by village manager Joe Medor and clerk Terry Onicka in order to repair multiple roads within the village. While the village maintains a water fund, according to Medor, road replacement for sections of Park and Hudson Streets, as well as water service lines improvement projects, are on a priority list after the tax increase. Village President Kelsey Cook opposed the vote, stating the increase in taxes at this time is too much for residents because of the fixed incomes and not knowing what's coming from the township. Plus, the village plans to increase water bills because of the lead service line. Replacements and additional expenses to residents as well. Terry.
Communications and Grant Manager of Oxford Township has done it again. Out of 71 organizations to be awarded a grant from the Community Foundations for Southeast Michigan, CJ Carnacchio secured a $50,000 grant for a Dunlap Road Safety Path project. Through the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Legacy Funds, the township received the Design and Access Grant to begin design and construction of the 1,600-foot asphalt safety path along the east side of Dunlap from Bayshore to Market Street. The grant will fund 41% of the estimated $122,000 project. The path is a part of the Safety Path Master Plan with an adjacent path as part of the Manners of Westlake development since 2015. It will increase a 5-mile loop to access portions of both the township and Village of Oxford and should be constructed this year. Jim?
Due to the parking lot construction, the Oakland County Sheriff's Substation lobby will be closed to the public until further notice. According to Township Superintendent Jack Curtis, the township is expanding the lot to meet present and future needs of the department and will give patrol officers a place to park their unit cars out of the weather. As part of the project, the Oxford-based Carport Structures Corporation agreed to build a 16-space carport free of charge. The number of spaces increased on the lot went from 21 to 49 parking spaces. Terry?
Volunteers are needed to help plant a community garden on Wednesday, May 26th. The Oxford Community Garden, located at Seymour Lake Township Park, has been plowed, and the Recreation Department is looking for volunteers of all ages and abilities to help plant the herbs and veggies. The harvest will be used as ingredients in the cooking classes offered at the Senior Center, as well as provide fresh produce to individuals and local families in need. To sign up for a time slot, go to www.signupgenius.com.
Well, it's an old building with great history and old relics inside, but last week it got brand new windows. Workers spent a day removing the 1940s style glass blocks on the 100-year-old Northeast Oakland Historical Museum in downtown Oxford. The replacement windows will allow more natural light to offer visitors a better viewing experience, as well as protect the museum from harmful ultraviolet rays. The work was done by Rochester Hills-based American Door Systems and Troy-based Advanced Storefronts. Good work there. Terry?
Oxford wants to remind you, and I think that's the village, you have until June 2nd to renew your dog license. Each summer, the Oakland County Animal Control Division conducts a census to ensure compliance with the Michigan State Dog Law of 1919, which requires all dogs to have a license. Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center will be in the Oxford area starting June 16th, going door to door to verify compliance. Jim?
Speaking of compliance, as of June 1st, capacity limits will be lifted. For outdoor events, and indoor capacity will increase up to 50%. Curfew for bars, restaurants will be lifted. We'll be able to go out and have some fun, I guess. As of July 1st, the state will no longer limit capacity to indoor or outdoor gatherings, nor mandate masks for Michiganders until July 1st. However, the mask mandate stands for all non-vaccinated persons when indoors.
Well, let's hope it stays that way.
Well, I got to have a mask. I got to get my vaccination. I got to get my vaccination.
Oh, get your vaccination.
But anyways, I say, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
everybody should, just to be safe, or if they don't have their vaccination, like you said, wear a mask.
I bring one with me. It's in the car at all times. And a long extended road trip this weekend with my dad.
How fun.
It was kind of cool. We decided, I mean, my dad's elderly. He doesn't really drive as much anymore. And I just called him up. I said, look, we're going on a road trip. We were, even our destination got a little bit hampered. We were going to go to a place called Gagetown. And I evidently missed a sign, and we ended up in Port Austin.
Oh,
okay.
nice. Well, that's
then
a
came
good-
around the Thumb, and it was a great day out. Had a good time with him, and just I think people just need to get out of the house, for God's sakes, you know.
Yeah, and it was a perfect weekend for it.
No doubt, we had a good
nice
time. I
weekend.
think we're going to plan another one. This time I might MapQuest it so we can maybe get to where we thought we were going to go to.
I've never heard of that town. Speaking of weekend, the weekend coming up is Memorial Day weekend,
Right.
so I think everybody should play it safe, but enjoy the weekend. Hopefully it's going to be a nice one.
Definitely. What do you
Do you
got
have any
plans?
plans?
Part of the weekend, yes. I'm working part of it, and another part I'll be probably with family and friends and stuff like
Yeah,
that. You know,
that's what
like
we're gonna try to
barbecuing
do.
and stuff. I always love to barbecue.
Yeah.
Hey, can
Well,
you
we
tell
have
them how they can get more? How they can get a whole? I mean, all the
More information?
Yeah.
That's it for Oxford News this week.
I was trying to lead
pushing
her
me
down
out the door.
Not really, I just
that's
wanted
it
to
for
know.
Oxford News this week. If you want to learn more about these stories or others, you can pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper, or you can go to Charter Township of Oxford Facebook page, because CJ puts all kinds of new information on there daily, or you can catch information on our Charter channel 191 or AT&T channel 99, or you can also go to our website www.occtv.org.
It was right there. It was right under your name there. Yeah, that's right.
I'll put it up there. Your turn.
Or if you want, you can come on down here and watch us do it live, okay? Feel free to do that. Hey, thanks for watching Oxford News this week. We want to thank Alex behind the board. She always makes it run smoother. We appreciate
thank
you a
you.
lot. This week, we're bringing your news closer to home. And make sure to wear a mask if you can. If you're not non-vaccinated, it's your choice. Go out and make it a great week and take care of yourselves. And
Have a safe
salute to all the
weekend.
servicemen and women.
Yes, thank you.
See you next week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I tried to ignore it, but my stomach issues were out of control. I couldn't fix them on my own. It was time to do something. A friend said the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation could help me find a specialist. Feels good to finally have a plan. Don't hide your symptoms. Get help at spillyourguts.org today.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. Ford's new F-150 Lightning's curb weight is between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds heavier than the gasoline-powered F-150. It goes on sale in the spring of 2022. The new Ford F-150 Lightning, revealed May 19th, features standard four-wheel drive, the F-150's first independent rear suspension, and an improved onboard generator that can power a house or work site for 3 straight days. It'll be assembled in Dearborn. Ford said the EV can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in the mid 4-second range, and its dual electric motors are expected to produce 563 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque, making it more powerful than any F-150 before it, including the V8-powered variants that previously bore the Lightning badge. The pickup can also tow up to 10,000 pounds and haul up to 2,000. There are 2 battery options, a standard range that is expected to get 230 miles to a charge, and an extended range that's set to go up to 300 miles. The Lightning will come in 4 trims, all of which will be available at the start of production, with prices ranging from below $40,000 for the base trim to $90,000 for the Platinum. The sub-$40,000 starting price places the Lightning well below the $79,995 starting price tag for the upcoming GMC Hummer electric pickup. Ford said it was able to price the Lightning so aggressively because of scale and by sharing some common parts with its existing full-size pickups. The Lightning features a light bar that runs horizontally across the front of the vehicle and connects to the tops of both headlights with a similar taillight design. The grille area is closed off, but largely resembles the size, shape, and color of the grilles on gasoline-powered trucks. The Lightning also has the same cab and bed dimensions as the gasoline F-150 to accommodate thousands of accessories already offered. In total, the Lightning's curb weight is between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds heavier than the gasoline-powered F-150. Among the most important new features offered on the F-150 Lightning is a spacious 14.1 cubic foot front storage area, which Ford calls a mega power frunk. The Lightning's frunk opens from the bottom of the grille area, making it easier to lift heavy items in and out. It's lockable and can carry up to 400 pounds and comes with 4 110-volt power outlets and 2 USB charging outlets. Ford says the trunk has 2.4 kilowatts of power, enough to run power tools, TVs, laptop speakers, slow cookers, and more without tapping into the power offered in the bed. Ford says the frunk on the F-150 Lightning offers storage for 2 sets of golf clubs and more. The frunk outlets give the Lightning more total onboard power than the current gasoline-powered truck, which introduced the onboard generator feature with the latest redesign. In total, the F-150 Lightning offers customers up to 9.6 kilowatts of power, up from 7.2 kilowatts offered on the gasoline model. Ford says the 80-amp wall box will add an average of range of 30 miles per charging hour, fully charging an extended range F-150 Lightning from 15 to 100% in about 8 hours. A 150 kilowatt DC fast charger will give the extended range Lightning up to 54 miles of range in 10 minutes and charge from 15 to 80% in about 41 minutes. Ford says its North American charging network includes more than 63,000 plugs. The Lightning gets the same 15.5 center touchscreen offered on the Mustang Mach-E. It will also be offered on Ford's hands-free Blue Cruise driver assist technology and will have over-the-air update capability, which Ford began offering this year. The electric truck will also have an onboard scale that can give drivers real-time payload information. The vehicle is powered by a lithium-ion battery that weighs roughly 1,800 pounds and is enclosed in a steel frame that's different from that on the current F-150. The entire length of the Lightning's underbody is capped by metal skid plates to protect the battery and both electric motors. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back.
Every year, distracted drivers are responsible for nearly 2.5 million car crashes. The National Safety Council reports cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes. The NSC reports 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving. Texting or reading text takes your eyes off the road for at least 5 seconds.
How you doing, ma'am?
So if you were traveling at 55 miles per hour, you're essentially driving the length of an entire football field blindfolded. Once a driver has been distracted, it takes only 3 seconds for a car crash to occur.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Small birds like swifts and swallows that migrate long distances have been predicted to travel up to 311 miles a day. But new evidence shows that one species of swift can cover far more ground than that. Susan Atkinson and Giuseppe Bianco at Lund University in Sweden have shown that common swifts can fly an average of 354 miles a day. The fastest swifts covered 517 miles a day. Swifts can fuel up on insects without landing, which allows them to remain in flight for about 10 months of the year. They are very special birds. Thanks to their small size and also this fly and forage strategy, they can generate very high migration speeds over time, says Atkinson. For ordinary birds like waders and ducks and songbirds, they need to be spending some time sitting on the ground foraging before they fly. But the swifts, they can feed a little bit every day and feed on the wing, she says. Atkinson and Bianco use geolocators to track the migration patterns of common swifts that breed in Sweden's northern province of Lapland and migrate to areas south of the Sahara Desert. The swifts leave Lapland every year around mid-August and return north at the end of May. The pairs tracked 19 swifts in the autumn when the migration included 20 flying days and 22 stopover days on average, and 20 swifts in the spring, which involved 15 travel days and 5 stopover days on average. In the spring, they have a good chance to find very good tailwind conditions, especially at high altitude, says Atkinson. The reason for finding insects in the spring may also make it shorter migration than the autumn trip. The pair's analysis of weather along the migration route showed that the birds seemed to time their departure by anticipating future wind conditions. Atkinson says it's not clear how swifts do this, but previous studies have shown that birds are sensitive to air pressure changes. While common swifts breed across Europe and Asia, the population Atkinson and Bianco studied were from breeding sites in the northernmost part of the species range in Europe. The northern swifts seem to be swifter than their slightly larger southern cousins, but the reason for these differences in speed isn't yet known. It may have to do with the routes taken and wind conditions at the time of departure, as the northern swifts migrate later in the season, says Atkinson. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.